This video is gonna be getting this thing ready to go to the machine shop. So realistically, well, what we're gonna do actually is my buddy, Brody, he's got an LS swapped S13. I'll put a picture of it here. That thing's ridiculous. It's a cool car. His is 5.3 swapped, but he has a lot of knowledge on LS motors and he's kind of guiding me through building this motor. So he's gonna be dropping the block off for machine work. And then he's also going to be taking the heads to a different place. So what does that mean? We need to take this whole thing down to a bare block for one. And then we need to take the heads apart, like everything on the inside of the heads apart, get it ready to go. So that's what this video will be. We'll be doing that. Getting everything ready to go to the machine shop, and that way we can get that out of the way. This thing's gonna be out of the shop. Obviously that'll help us with space for one. And then for two, we know that that's being progressed on every day. That's kind of the goal with this car, is there to be, something needs to be happening every single day, because cars don't build themselves. I work 10 hours a day, but like it needs to get done. I want it done. So with that being said, this thing won't build itself, which means we need to get working on that. So we're gonna go ahead and get started on that in this video. So the first thing to do was just to start taking these mains off, and that means taking bolts out of the side, taking bolts out of the top. And while we're doing this, we're placing these on the table very neatly and efficiently. That way we don't lose which is where and what goes where and all that stuff. Okay, so far that's what we got off. Again, I don't know what I'm doing, like at all. And I also realized I don't know how I'm about to spin this thing because I ain't got no crank bolts, and I'm not about to use my brand new crank bolts to just to be able to spin this motor. So I'm sure there's like a smart way to do it, or I'm sure like this low-key probably just spins. I don't know, to be honest, but we're gonna just figure it out. So all right, this is where we're at now. Crank is out, everything is out except it's obviously the pistons. So we're gonna pull these out, and then I don't know what from there. I literally have no idea what I'm doing. But we're making good progress for not knowing what we're doing. Trying to keep everything as organized as possible. All these bolts go in there and all that. So these bolts go in there, these go in those exact positions where they are, you know, etc. So trying to keep it nice and organized because I don't know what I'm doing. So, I mean, some of these. So what we're doing is we're gonna be having the machine shop do all new bearings. I don't know about rings yet. I mean, we're gonna be able to check right now. But overall, I mean, this thing's pretty healthy, other than it just needs new bearings, was my understanding, and it seems to be pretty true so far. So I'm gonna take those out and just keep looking around. So we got everything done, everything's taken out. We looked at everything, it looks pretty good. So we're gonna go ahead and back the truck up to the shop, load the motor in the car. Doing this all myself, so not super easy, not really the best way to do it, but you gotta do what you gotta do. I also don't like to ask for help. So anyways, we got this thing backed up, we got the truck loaded up, and then we put the pistons and rods in the cab along with the crank, because we don't want those rolling around in the back, obviously on our way to Brody's house to drop this thing off. And then when we got there, we went ahead and moved everything towards the back so it'd be easy for us to unload into his garage. And here is a little bit better of a view of his car. On this video, when it was taken, we were actually prepping the car for him to drive down to Long Beach for Formula Drift. He was just going to be showing the car off there, driving around with his homies and stuff. So this thing's very cool. If you want to check him out on Instagram, it's s13.brody, or I believe his company's account, his shop account, is B2 Speed and Performance.